Well, hello, everyone. Aaron Stewart from the quiet comfort of nearby the little black couch. Obviously, not on the little black couch, on the big uncomfortable chair, office chair, but here to discuss items of entrepreneurship this day, live and in person, as the cloud cover rolls in, and as I face as I face the end of a day in which did not turn out exactly the way I had planned, but we're going to talk about it anyway because that is what we do as entrepreneurs. Let's jump in. Welcome back. That's jazzy, isn't it? All right, welcome back to the little black couch where we are discussing it's a journey in entrepreneurship, and sometimes these sorts of days happen. I came in, had a very good plan. I actually did get I'm just going to give you a brief overview of what my day has been like. I came in really pumped, felt good, got a great night's rest. As a little bit of I don't know how you put it, but let's take a little glimpse into the life of me. I sleep sitting up. Okay, so that's right, which seems weird, but I love my wife. I find her to be absolutely extraordinary, and I am a big snorer, and I hate it. I hate the fact that I can't figure out how to not snore. Okay, as an entrepreneur and a problem solver, I absolutely despise and detest that I can't figure out how to stop snoring. I have tried device after device, and don't try to get me to use one of those ridiculous suction face things for a breathing apparatus for sleep apnea, because frankly, I'd rather die, right? I don't want to be Darth Vader in bed. So anyway, so that's not an option. I've been trying to figure it out. My dear wife will always say that it doesn't matter as long as she gets to sleep. But lo and behold, my wife has gotten to the point where she sleeps about 2 hours a night, right? So something had to be done. She says it's not me, it's her own thing. She's very kind, but we all know, it's me, right? It's the snoring fella, right? So there's a couple of things that you can do to stop snoring. You can put all kinds of stuff. I even had surgery to clear out my sinuses to see if that wouldn't open it up. And while they were doing the surgery, they went in and put this, those little Just Breathe strips that you stick on the outside? They actually put one inside my nose to try to open it up so I could breathe better, so my poor wife could try to get some sleep. None of it worked, right? I still snore. And so I started thinking about it, and I saw once you see on TV this adjustable bed, I don't know, the Sleep Number bed. There you go, the Sleep Number bed, and you push up, the guy starts to snore, or actually I think which is odd, I think it's the lady that starts to snore, and then the man pushes the button and the bed kind of goes up, and then magically, right, she stops snoring. So I'm thinking, hey, this seems pretty cool. So now if I start sleeping sitting up, maybe I won't snore anymore. So I started to do this really systematically. I started to bring more and more pillows on the bed, which, early in our marriage, I used to complain because when Carol made the bed, there was 50 pillows. And they had to be organized a certain way, and they were obviously lovely, but they moved out to cover half the bed. And it's just not really comfortable, right? When you want to go hop in bed, you look at it and you take a nap or something, you look at it and go, that's too pretty to disturb. I'm just going to go back to the office, right? Maybe Maybe that's what she was doing. Interesting. Anyway, so she was the mother of all pillows, right? We had tons of pillows. And as we've kind of got on in our marriage, the pillows have kind of dwindled a little bit, and it's a much more manageable number of pillows now. Except now I decide that I have to create some kind of a pillow wedge in order to sleep on. Boy, this is going to be a much longer show than I thought it would be. But anyway, so I went, as an entrepreneur, I started solving and testing and doing different things and seeing if I could eventually develop a really cool wedge with all these pillows to see if it would work before you go out and do something ridiculous like buy an adjustable bed, right? You want a proof of concept before you go drop the big bucks on one of those beds. So I went through the proof of concept and tried different stacks and, different types of pillows and different thicknesses and memory foam and then, the crazy foam and then even some like some of the wheat husk sort of Asian pillows. I used all kinds of different stuff, the beaded pillows, to kind of figure out some kind of a ramp or an angled something or other, right? In order so I could sleep, sitting up. And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, if I can figure this thing out, not only will I stop snoring, but the days that I had acid reflux, no problem. I don't even have to take any medication for that anymore. I'll be sleeping straight up. I'll be practicing for sleeping on airplane flights. Bonus there, right? So I'm going through all these sorts of things going, hey, this is great. I won't wake up with crushed face, wrinkles. That'll be gone, right? I'm just going to be sitting up there, right? That's got to be very good for the complexion, right? No, I'm not creating all these crazy wrinkles and then my shoulders always fall asleep. I'm thinking this might be the smartest thing ever as far as sleep technology goes. So I start sleeping that way, and it's fine. I apparently still snore sometimes, not as much as I used to. So it is a better solution, but not perfect. And my daughter can still, she says she can hear me across the hall on some occasions, but my wife has said absolutely that I snore less. Anyway, so I got for Father's Day like a full-on wedge. So I don't have to do the pillow thing anymore. Proof of concept, passed it, and then I got like a full-on wedge now that I use in bed, which is super cool when I'm working in bed. I got the laptop, now I've got this like little tray thing, and I've got my little wedge, and I'm just working, right, as an entrepreneur into the wee hours of the morning. So it's worked, awesome. So I got a good night's rest, really good night's rest. My arms don't. I put 2 pillows on either side of me, and so my pillows are just resting comfortably in these. My arms are resting comfortably in these pillows. It's fantastic. It is a great way to sleep. I tried to sleep. My back was hurting the other day, and I tried to sleep down again. I don't know how you people do it. That's not good for you. My shoulder went to sleep. My legs went to sleep. My hips started hurting. Terrible. Sleep sitting up. Go get a recliner or something. I don't know how you people lay down. Who decided that laying down was a good way to sleep? It's wrong. Anyway, so I got a good night's rest and I came in super excited. Obviously, I'm working on this project. I've got an 8-part series going on raising entrepreneurs, right? So how to help the youth become entrepreneurs, and not necessarily tell them, hey, I'm here to make you an entrepreneur, but really the steps to foster passion, to help their creativity, to help them be happy, right? To stay in a mode as adults where we are encouraging the youth and the younger generation to come up and become the types of people who will probably choose entrepreneurship. And do it in such a way that they're having a great time, they think their life's awesome, they think we're awesome, and then they get to a point where, lo and behold, they're very passionate individuals who are wonderful at solving problems, and they naturally fall into entrepreneurship, and then we slap on all the horrible, icky business stuff on top of that, and boom, we've done it. So there's an 8-part series going on about that, not only to train us on how we can best help and support these young people get there, but sort of the tricks and trades of helping these young people and become problem solvers, right? So I was really excited about doing that. I came in, I set everything up, and I went to work. And I got the second one down, and I was ready to jump back in and do the third show, and I realized, I hadn't set up my computer fully. That meant that my mic wasn't going, and sure enough, I went and listened. It was just the internal mic, which is terrible. And so I'm like, forget that. I plugged it all back in and I went again. And I did the whole second show again. Boom, I got it done. And I realized, well, because I did the last one and I hadn't had the mic plugged in, the app that I used was just, I mean, hey, look at that. Let's see. Let's add to broadcast. Love this idea. Sorry, bud. This is not very good. Let me go bigger. No, edit. Let's go a little. I tried to do this last time. We're going to change that to white. Let's see if that works. Oh, that's a little better. We still need to make it a little larger. But anyway, we'll edit it some more. Hi, Michael. Good to see you. Let's go. It's 30 point. Let's go to 36. 36. Let's see if that looks better. Love this idea. It's a little better, right? Anyway, this is producing on the fly. Nobody likes this. Ooh, 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 ooh. Let's see. Let's save that. Oh, there you go. Thanks, Michael. Thanks for joining us on the live. It is a good idea. It's a brilliant idea. Definitely. Sleep sitting up. Saves the wrinkles. Saves your hair. I mean, have you ever had to stop at the store on the way to the office? My hair, it looks about like this. It's perfect. So that's an awesome thing too. When you have to stop for turkey because you make turkey sandwiches for lunch every day, your hair looks great if you're sleeping sitting up. So on a recline, not totally uncomfortable. But anyway, I came in and so my app didn't record the show properly, and so I had to do it a third time. And I'm like, okay, if that's the kind of day it's going to be, ugh. Well, then we go the next time and... Oh, yeah, that's true, Michael. Michael has no hair, if you can tell by his picture, so this wouldn't really help him. Sorry, bud. Anyway, so, hey, Steve has joined us as well. Let's throw hey, Steve, there you are. Rap on, brother, rap on. I have no rapping ability, but I will continue to talk as the pasty white person that I am. Is that all right? I do not like rap. I am not going to rap. I have no time to rhyme. Ugh. Anyway, so I got through the third time. I got that one published, so you'll see it. We've got part 2 on raising entrepreneurs. It's up, it's going, it's awesome. And check that out, please, and see what. Let me know what you think. I've got 8 more parts scheduled to go out over the course of the next. My whole plan today was to get them all 8 done, and I didn't. It didn't work out. I got a weird. So we have an account. An obscure account with Union Pacific, and all of a sudden a bunch of crazy stuff came in that's cockamamie crazy, so I had to deal with that sort of thing. And then I've got my cousin here, and he had agreed to do something for my father. My father's life sketch had been scheduled out by my sweet stepmother. She'd done this beautiful life sketch. It's a huge book of like 200 pages. She did them all like in 2004 in TIFF format. And so my cousin decided that he would help them and put it all into digital form. So we had to move a computer to get it all going, and that turned out to be not as big a deal as we thought it was. And so then we had to move the computer back and put it back where it goes. And then we've been trying to do this automation project, and we tried to do a couple things, and we're using Zapier. We couldn't get the 2 programs to talk properly, and we're trying to figure out how to do it. It just kind of went one way after another, and it didn't quite work out the way you planned. I mean, it's the kind of day where here's a very good indication. I sat here and thought, my gosh, I'm thirsty, and I went and got a Mountain Dew, and it turned out I already had an open Pepsi Zero Sugar, half open right here, right? It's one of those kinds of days. But as entrepreneurs, we will have those types of days. So what do you do about it? It's very important, I think, to keep from getting frustrated and laugh at yourself. We are human beings. We are going to make mistakes. We are not perfect. And it's okay. It's okay when these sorts of days happen. I know of individuals in my own life who would allow a day like this to take them absolutely to the mat. And just say this, it stinks. And then get down for a couple days. And going back to what we've discussed earlier, as entrepreneurs and as problem solvers, and as folks that are hopefully passionate, the worst thing that you can possibly do is get to a point where you're frustrated, and then the creativity all goes away. And we don't have the ability then to be creative. And who knows when that creativity is going to be important in solving a problem? Who knows when the next business opportunity is going to be around the corner? And if we are not in the proper frame of mind, we will miss those opportunities. So do not allow yourself to be frustrated ever. There is no concise definition for entrepreneur. I was looking through, again, this is my dissertation, Entrepreneurial Perception by Stuart. See that? No title. I was super cheap. I went the cheap route. When you publish these dissertations, it's not cool. So anyway, I went the cheap route, and this I must say, I could have made a gazillion dollars had I sold this this dissertation as a sleeping aid. So I missed out on an opportunity there because it is one of the most boring things you've ever read in your life. But as I was looking at this book and thinking about entrepreneurship, and then a good portion of this little dissertation, this little book of mine, is about trying to define entrepreneurship. And I'm quoting people from 2001, right? This is how old this sucker is. But one of the interesting things that I came about when I was looking at this the other day, and trying to come up with a definition, and so many people have different definitions, and it's sort of where academics in entrepreneurship who have studied entrepreneurship have really screwed up, in that we get so focused on trying to define what an entrepreneur is that we don't actually, what an entrepreneur is defined as, we don't actually get into what entrepreneurs do. So it's one of the weird areas of research and study that still has lagged behind other areas of research and study because we still can't agree on a definition for the darn word, right? Fascinating stuff. But anyway, this one of the researchers that I quote here in this book tried to define entrepreneurship. And so he took 2 years, and I assume got a big gargantuous grant to do it. And I'm not going to use his name because nobody wants to get sued, right, for defamation of character. I don't know if he got a grant or not. And I don't know if he lived on it for the 2 years. But anyway, he took 2 years to go through and look at all the research in a variety of different academic journals in trying to come up with some kind of a definition for entrepreneurship. And when he got done, after his 2 years of hard work, as we academics are known to be hard workers, he came up with a 120 cell matrix trying to organize 131 different characteristics, and absolutely couldn't do it. Researchers, my comments on it were, researchers need to innovate as the subjects of their entrepreneurial studies often do. Researchers need to regroup, to discuss more, to provide new methods, concepts, frameworks. They need to generate more data, lots of data, to finally start substantiating this field as a valid standalone discipline. This is the challenge facing the research of entrepreneurship, and this is the challenge accepted by many of us out there. And here we are, 15 years later, still with no decent definition. Nobody listened to me or took my advice. But I will say this, after a day like today, where everything seemed to go wrong and nothing seemed to work out, my definition of entrepreneurship is somebody who just never gives up. That's it. Right? Never gives up, never allows themselves to get down, and keeps their mind in a place where they can be ready for the next solution to the world's problems whenever they show up, and they're always ready to put themselves in that place. So, that is it. That is Dr. Stuart's definition of entrepreneurship. Never giving up and making sure that we are in the proper place to find solutions for today's problems. The world needs us. We got to stick our necks out there and be ready, and practice problem solving, and practice being creative, and practice being passionate, and unfortunately practice working at business so we can put it all together. And if we do that, eventually, I feel very strongly that eventually, if we keep ourselves in it long enough, then that little flash of light will come, and we will be able to solve a problem that is important to us and is important to the world. Because as entrepreneurs, entrepreneurs change the world. I didn't get the double click in. So Back to our little, I wanted to bring in the couch cam. I didn't bring Buddy in earlier. But this is our discussion. Oh, look, we've got a little extension cord that he's holding there for me as well. That was to set up the computer for the big project that we didn't really need to set up because it was easy to do anyway. As a researcher trying to determine what entrepreneurship is all about and trying to define it, we researchers are still sitting on the couch and cannot come up with anything at all, period. So that is why Buddy has that little gentleman sitting with him on the couch at this particular time. We will still try to change the world. We will still try to do things the best way we possibly can. And until we do, let's continue to chat about it and to continue to work on being a little bit better every single day. Thanks for joining me today on this live. Until next time, this is Aaron Stewart from the Little Black Couch. Wishing you a wonderful rest of the day. Please don't get frustrated when days go south on you. It's just part of life, and it is definitely a big part of being an entrepreneur, not letting it get you down. Till next time, thanks, Aaron Stewart. See ya.